Hello, everybody. This is Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films, and we'll start off with an apology. So yesterday, I pre-recorded a show, and then I was going to upload it to Restream to premiere it live, which is what I normally do. But they have instituted this annoying thing where they now are limiting the length of what I can upload and also the file size. They're just like nickel and diming me at this point, and it's very frustrating. And so I rushed to put it up on YouTube to schedule it to appear at the right time. But what it did is I didn't hit the premiere button, so that meant that it was live at 1 p.m. the full episode, and not a premiere will actually do a countdown and will reveal it to everybody at the same time, which means then you would have a live chat and all that stuff. And so I apologize for that. It was an epic episode in spite of that, because I got to present it with the Prellingers, Megan Prellinger, who is my age, I think, or a little bit younger, and then my mentor, Rick Prellinger, who's been doing this for 10 years longer than me, and we work together a bunch, but we only get to see each other periodically. So we met in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which was beautiful, humid-free. It was warm sometimes, but it was warm so that if you're in the sun and you're hot, you just go into the shade and suddenly you feel better. Not like in North Carolina, where it's equally gross no matter if you're in the shade or in the sun. And so today, of course, we're back in North Carolina, and it's gross outside, and it's raining, and nasty. So to counterbalance that, so today there's a bunch of stuff in talking with Rick and Megan. They've been actively scanning new films, and so they tipped me off to a collection of stuff that I had not seen before. And so we're going to watch some, because I haven't been here to scan new stuff to show you. I was like, well, I'll just show some of this stuff. So this first one is going to take us to another climate, another place, because our layover was in Phoenix, and it was 110 degrees there. We did not leave the terminal, and it was still hot in the terminal. So, ugh. Anyways, fashions on ice and snow. Enjoy.
Whenever the weatherman says there's snow on them thar hills, over 500,000 active sport fans start off for the mountain slopes to take part in America's fastest growing winter recreation, skiing, the ancient sport of the Vikings brought up to date. Today, skiing, or call it sheeing if you like, takes advantage of the latest wrinkles in transportation, the tow rope, the ski lift, and the luxurious tramway, uphill in comfort. One last easy breath, and then to the slopes on slender slivers of hickory, ash, or maple. No armchair sport is this, but a red-blooded sport that calls for coordination, rhythm, balance, and nerve. A sport so fast that even the smart, colorful fashions of the skier are designed for streamlined action, allowing for easy movement, comfort, and warmth, protection from fighting winds and flying snow. It's downhill all the way, and old man gravity does the work, sending the crouching snowbirds into a world of their own, across wide and unbroken fields of snow into a winter fairyland. Tricky turns and jumps at high speed, maneuvers called by names in the special language of the skier. Christies, Telmarks, and Galenda sprungs, each to be mastered before the amateur can initiate the slick perfection of the profession. Every foot of the mountainside sends up a challenge to these daring young men and women on the flying skis. The beginner soon learns to take a sitz mark just as a part of the game. Here's an outdoor sport that's reaching an amazing peak of interest in America today. The lure of split-second thrills and the invigorating mountain air is too strong to resist for those who want action or want to watch it. And the skier will tell you there's nothing quite like the heady feeling that comes with a day on the trail. A day of healthful battle with the elements and friendly companionship of others who take delight in this breathtaking winter recreation. More and more, the skier looks for the right kind of clothing. Trousers that allow freedom of action. Tailored jackets that hug the body and give free play to every movement of arm and body. For dressing practically as well as smartly is an important part of getting the most out of skiing pleasure. And down they go with the speed of the wind, every nerve and muscle tense and alert. Taking the turns and jumps and the glides as they come, meeting every situation with the ease of a bird on the wing. And for those lion-hearted fans who look to even greater adventures, there's always the ski jump. Call it folly if you will, but it's one of the biggest thrills in the history of sport. Waxed runners taking off into space. And now a double jump in perfect unison. A pair of human birds in flight. A thrill to make all other sports seem languid by comparison. Pass this examination, and you can go to the head of the class. Today, the appeal of cross-country skiing is just as strong with the All-American girl. She's taken up the sport with typical feminine enthusiasm, learning the ABCs of gliding on the snow. She rounds the turn, a beautiful sight on a beautiful day, and sometimes she stands up, and then once in a great while, well, of course, she doesn't. Now, don't spoil the nice things I've been saying about you. Oh, there's another one coming a cropper. But it's a nice day anyways. What's the matter, little girl? It's the skis are supposed to keep on the snow. Well, little girls, you've had a busy day. The world of winter sports moves on against a rich background of color. Color blending the attractive designs of Saucony skating and skiing costumes, and even the snowman knows that easy freedom of movement and protection in every rigorous phase of sport is important to the active girl of today. Good clothes and good equipment all add to the good times of skiing and skating pleasure. Here's what the best-dressed girls on skis will be wearing. Warmth without weight outfits of fully weatherproof gabardine and poplin. In every pocket equipped with zippers to protect those precious odds and ends that only a girl can carry. Every one a practical outfit with matching colors and ribbed waistbands and cuffs. Costumes like these and a complete color selection to set off the loveliness of blonde, brunette, or redhead. And this jacket's a complete weekend skiing wardrobe in itself. Little lady, show us how it reverses and changes its colors. Every detail on both sides is identical. That means you've got something there that'll put you one step ahead in changing off and varying your skiing wardrobe. That outfit will take you places in plain and fancy stemming, to say nothing about a bit of Langloff, or don't you follow me? At any rate, you'll go places in that costume. It's designed for real action in the roughest kind of wear. Longer ski jackets like this are the newest note. They're practical and comfortable for active skiing. Nothing clumsy as the rule. Instead, a sleek fitted look. There's an elastic in back to hold the waistline and to pull in the fullness of the jacket when a girl wears a heavy sweater underneath. And here's one with tricky yet practical features. Padded shoulders that won't let the skis slip off when there's no man around to help a girl carry them. And there are buttons on the back of the trousers to keep the short jacket and trousers together. If and when you do fall, and you may, no snow sneaks inside. Note the gloves and sweater. They're particularly colorful accessories, hand-fashioned by Saucony with the finest yarns. These costumes have an inner cuff in the sleeve to guard against wind and snow. And the printed poplin lining is not only good-looking, but also a safeguard against biting winter winds. And look at these tailored downhill trousers. They're tapered to the ankles with a permanent crease, giving a slimming line and eliminating uncomfortable bulkiness at the boot top. That streamlining helps the skier to assume the correct skiing position. And for a day filled with going uphill and down, there's nothing like a poplin jacket. Light in weight, yet made to resist wind, snow, and cold. And there's always room for an extra sweater whenever the thermometer takes a sudden drop. And what do you have to offer in high skiing fashion? Another jacket, of course. It's poplin, too. Very warm, you'll find it, and get light enough in weight that after an hour or two of real skiing, when your blood's circulating, from a 40-mile-an-hour dash. That's right. Tell us all about the Saucony accessories you can add to that jacket to vary your costume from time to time. Another sweater or change of shirt as the mood strikes you. And talking about your shirt, let's look at it. It's all wool, soft as a snowbank, colorful and attractive. In fact, it's just what you need. And while we're at it, let's take a good look at the waistlines of those ski pants. They're built up for comfortable skiing when jackets become too warm. Well, now that the girls are all set for skiing, let's see what's going on here at the skating rink. Here, too, we'll find the ladies. For ice skating, like skiing, increases in interest with each passing year. Last year, over 40 million admissions were paid at rinks alone. Add to that the many more millions who find their skating pleasure on local lakes and ponds, and you get an idea that ice skating has come into its own as a big-time sport. And the ladies this year will have just the thing to wear on ice. The newest and smartest ballerina designs in skating costumes. Practical and colorful Saucony costumes for both outdoor and indoor rinks. Technically speaking, skating costumes like these are fashioned of flannel, quilted poplin, or shirred knitted jersey, all of which simply means that these are not only practical outfits, but very becoming as well. This year, the girls who take to the ice will find that the skirts are shorter, knee-high, and they're high-waisted, too. They don't pull up, tighten, or bind, but they give free action in any maneuver. And don't be so coy about showing that lining. It's poplin, which is definitely a style note this season, just in case you don't know. That hood is nice-looking, all right, but how about those touches of color? That braid trim, for example, and also that brilliant poplin lining you have in both the jacket and the skirt. Now, just a minute. If you can get away from that window, we'd like to see that sporty Eton jacket designed for figure emphasis. A jacket that hugs the figure and never pulls up, meaning you'll always have perfect ease and comfort. That skating outfit on the right is equally flattering and attractive. It's more for indoor skating. Together, these two make a top-flight skating team, perfectly dressed for a perfect day on ice. Designing these smart-looking Saucony costumes, every attention has been given to those fine points of construction that make for a comfortable fit. Yes, girlie, we do like that outfit, especially after you've told us that the shirred top is designed to flatter the figure. Sure, it's a good-looking costume, all right, but don't forget that it's as practical as it is good-looking, designed for free and easy action. Now let's take another look at your playmate. Here's a costume to turn many a male head on the old skating pond, and just to keep the record straight, it's a white flannel Eton jacket. Off it comes, and our eagle eye can tell at a glance that the printed lining colors are matched in the rick-rack on the jacket. You know, rick-rack is that fancy design across the shoulder. But just look at that shirt. See how it's called, and it's a smart thing to wear with skating skirts or any skirt for that matter. Very exclusively yours, Saucony. The label women look for on everything in sportswear, famous for quality and yet attractively priced. Saucony stands for play clothes with comfort and high style. Swimsuits with trim lines and striking colors for the modern girl. Spectator sportswear and beach apparel for summer and winter wear. American sportswear with an enviable reputation. All very exclusively yours, Saucony.
So that was the opposite of what we're experiencing right now, which is it's really hot and rainy outside and not cold and blustery and wonderful. Yeah, sometimes you just got to have a little fashion eye candy, and that film delivered. Nathan, thank you so much for rewarding that behavior by using the super thanks button to contribute to us. This next film is, again, this is all these ones that are shown are from the Prelinger archive. And they tipped me off to some of these when I met with them over the weekend. And this one is missing a title, but it's called Office Etiquette. Enjoy.
Typing class as if it were yesterday. To have Miss Purcell as my teacher. She taught us much more than typing. She was teaching us to get along in the business world and
Stop typing your first course in preparing for an office job. You're starting a new career. It can be fun, or it can be hard. It all depends on the way you look at things, your attitude. For instance, you'll be working in an office. Well, don't forget the golden rule works there just as it does anywhere else. Treat others as you want to be treated. Here's how it applies to an office. First, of course, know your job. Enjoy it, but also enjoy the people that you're working with. Be considerate of them, and be considerate of your employer. Remember those simple rules of office etiquette, and you'll get along in the business world. Now then, let's do skill building practice 8. Say margin. Begin typing when ready.
It wasn't till I got my first job that I really began to understand some of the things Miss Purcell told us. I think this application is filled out all right, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you. I see you're a student of Miss Purcell's. A number of her former students with us. Her recommendation means a great deal here.
I enjoyed being in her classes.
You did very well on your test. Can you start Monday morning?
Monday morning? Oh, that would be wonderful, Mr. Arnold.
We're a small organization, Miss Spencer. We find that getting along with people is pretty important. Do you think you can do that?
Oh, yes, I think I can.
Fine. We'll see you Monday. I believe your coat's in the outer office?
Yes. And thank you. I was a little worried about that first job. I guess everybody is. But Miss Purcell's advice kept running through my head.
First of all, know your work. Enjoy it. And also enjoy the people that you're working with. Be considerate of them. And be considerate of your employer. Remember those simple rules of office etiquette, and you'll get along in the business world.
I planned to get there early that first day. I wore my good suit because it was plain and neat and seemed just right for an office. Good morning. I'm Joan Spencer.
Oh, yes, miss, we're expecting you. Miss Hamilton will be your supervisor. She's on her way in now. Won't you have a seat?
Thank you.
How do you do, Miss Spencer? Ready to go to work?
I'm looking forward to it, Mr. Arnold.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Hamilton. This is Miss Spencer. She's the stenographer and file clerk who's starting this morning.
How do you do, Miss Spencer? I understand you're one of Miss Purcell's students.
Yes, I was graduated last semester.
I know her quite well. I'll show you where to leave your things, and then we can get to work.
All right.
Girls, this is Miss Spencer.
Miss Hamilton and Mr. Arnold certainly set a good example of courtesy for us to follow.
This will be your desk. This book contains some of our forms and procedures. Study it a while, and then we'll start you on your first assignment.
All right. The girls took me to lunch that first day. It looked like it wouldn't be hard to follow part of Miss Purcell's advice. The part about enjoying the people you're working with. The part about know your work was a little harder. I did a lot on my own those first few weeks. There was many an evening at home getting acquainted with the company's work and learning some of its business terms. What a long time ago that was. It hardly seems possible now there was ever a time when I didn't know those terms. But I found that I still had a lot to learn. Some of it I learned the hard way.
Thank you, Miss Spencer. Well, Miss Spencer,
Yes, Mr. Kane?
this letter that you typed this morning, I believe there's a mistake here.
Oh,
It doesn't seem to make sense. I can't remember just what word I used there, but I don't think I could have said this.
oh, yes, Mr. Kane, that's what you said. I have it right in my book.
Well, suppose I give you this paragraph over again.
Yes, sir.
In view of our current production schedule, we think it will be necessary to curtail our order, number 3256.
I had made a mistake, of course. It wasn't anything that Mr. Kane said, but I learned then to admit my mistakes gracefully instead of arguing about them or offering alibis. I learned to ask when I wasn't sure instead of making a wild guess. And I learned not to resent criticism or to brood over it. Since then, I've learned a lot of do's and don'ts about office etiquette by watching the others in the office. I learned that Miss Purcell's short sentence, "Be considerate of your employer," could cover a whole multitude of things. One of the most important things, of course, was doing office work during office hours. I found that writing personal letters didn't help to get the work done.
And who do you think we ran into? Joe.
I learned that personal telephone calls interfered with business.
Oh, I was so mad I could have slapped her face. No. You wouldn't think she was that kind, would you? Why, that little cat.
I learned that it's only fair to plan your personal life so that you're always able to put in a full day's work. And that means working right up to the end of the day. And I learned that a date after work is no reason to break the rule about simple dress in the office. I learned, too, the importance of consideration for fellow workers. Thoughtlessness often makes for extra work in the office. And hard feelings. I learned to mind my own business by watching some who didn't.
Mr. Arnold wants to know if the insurance list is ready.
It will be in a moment. Wait for it, won't you? You know you shouldn't do that, Jimmy.
Do what?
But most of what I learned came from the people who really know their jobs. I learned the importance of neatness and organization in planning work. And even though I kept getting more things to take care of, there were times when I could help others, and times when they would return the favor. All these things became even more important when I became Mr. Arnold's secretary. His work included public relations as well as personnel, so I had plenty to do. I had more contact with people outside the company, and I learned the importance of consideration for them, too, and especially courtesy on the telephone. Good morning, Mr. Arnold's office. He's in conference just now. This is his secretary. May I help you? The Acme Printing Company. Oh, yes. Yes. No, that order was for 20,000. May we expect it next Tuesday? Oh, that'll be fine, Mr. Dahlmeyer. Yes, goodbye.
Good morning. My name's Herbert Forbes. I have an appointment with Mr. Arnold.
Oh, yes, Mr. Forbes. Mr. Arnold will be with you in a moment. He asked that you fill out this application blank. You may sit at the table over there. Good morning, Mr. Arnold's office. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fulton. He's in conference just now. May I have him call you back? Yes. Oh, yes. Well, that's the story. As I look back on it now, it's surprising how often the things Miss Purcell talked about in class apply here in the office. You did very well on your test, Miss Collins, but I suppose that's only to be expected of one of Miss Purcell's students. Does she still make that little speech on office etiquette?
Yes, I know it by heart. First, of course, know your work. Enjoy it. But also enjoy the people you're working with. Be considerate of them, and be considerate of your employer.
Those rules have certainly helped me. I shall always be grateful for them. We'll see you in the morning, then?
Yes, I'll be here early.
Fine.
That was made by our good friends at Encyclopedia Britannica, and I think it was made in 1950. And then feel like they made a follow-up about office courtesy. So it must have been a big problem. But yeah, this one is fascinating because it had a lot of music in it. A lot of Encyclopedia Britannica films around that time didn't, especially the ones that were narrated by our good friend, whose name I promptly forgot when I mentioned it. Hold on. What's his name? Encyclopedia. I'm typing it into the internet. Pedia Britannica. Narrator is no, wrong. James Brill. There we go. Google AI. Don't trust it. They listed all these other names, and I'm like, no, dude, who is the main one? James Brill. James Brill. So somebody had asked about the previous film, The Fashions on Ice and Snow, and asked if I had colorized it. No. I don't really colorize. I don't colorize stuff unless a producer is asking for it and they pay me for it. And even then, I protest a little bit and say, like, are you sure you just don't want, black and white? Because black and white's pretty good, and it's what it was shot, how it was shot. So if I ever do anything that is AI related, unless it's April Fool's Day, I'll just say that right now, I will tell you beforehand if we've done something to augment it. Or it'll be so obvious, you'll be like, no, impossible. All right. So one of the things in talking with the Prellingers over the weekend, they have been scanning a bunch of Calvin Productions. And Calvin Productions was the company that was based in Kansas. And they have made lots of training films. They have made all those management films for Alcoa that we've shown. They showed that train wreck of a film, Freeze In, and they're kind of goofy over there. They did Your Name Here, the Dingbat story. So they would do this kind of summer workshop where they would put together and work with other filmmakers who were doing industrials across the country, and they would kind of do this workshop and talk about the basics, but also talk about the kind of the finesse and improving your craft. And so I'm not sure if this is part of that, or if this really was a film for this company. Maybe you can help me figure it out. It's called Good Day at Bad Milk. Enjoy.
Milk. Bartender, make that a tall milk.
Something wrong with the milk, stranger?
Did that come from a cow?
Yeah, and it's been like that ever since they came to town. They think you can put hay up just any old way, and the cows will make good milk from it.
Well, here. Try some of my milk. Bartender, draw us two, and use my milk. Salute.
Hey, this is good milk. What makes the difference?
Well, you can get a hint from the machinery your friends got parked out there.
Say, mister, being a stranger in town and everything, you'd better be able to back up them words.
Well, I'd be glad to. As I said, miss, the secret's in the machinery. You see, the cows that gave this milk have been fed a very special kind of hay, Hestonized hay. Hay that was cut and conditioned and windrowed with a Heston windrower.
Oh, I see.
Was there anything wrong, miss?
Oh, times are bad here in Bad Milk. People can't afford that fancy equipment.
Well, that's all the more reason to switch to Hestonized hay. You see, with a Heston windrower, only one machine is required, where the old-fashioned method required three. With a windrower, well, you cut initial investment, maintenance, and depreciation costs. By making one trip around the field instead of three, well, you cut considerable on gasoline costs, too.
Well, I got a team that don't take no gas at all.
I guess you got a point there, partner. A Heston windrower don't make any fertilizer either. With one machine instead of three, you cut your labor costs. Or if you're the total workforce, you free yourself and your tractor for other work on the farm, or a greater acreage in hay. Now, another important item is, when it comes to saving money, is soil compaction. Now, with a Heston, there is up to 85% less compaction than with conventional haying methods. And this means that 85% more of the first growth stubble remains uncrushed, making second, third, and fourth cuttings come sooner. With less compaction, moisture is more easily absorbed and retained longer. Combined, the effects of reduced compaction can mean an extra cutting.
You're lying to her, mister. You said you'd tell her how we'd get more milk. We ain't all got horses like the old man here. We want to know how that machine of yours is going to make the hay any better and how the hay is going to affect the milk.
Take it easy, kid.
The kid's right, mister. You've been making fun of the machines we got parked out front. Well, those machines cost us plenty of money. You better start proving fast how your machine would make better hay than the ones we got.
Well, that's easy. A Heston windrower makes a conditioned windrow in one round instead of three. That stands to reason it takes less time to cure.
Yeah? So what?
Tests show that a hay plant loses about 1% of its digestible protein every 3 days after its peak nutritional point is reached early in the bloom stage. Now, this is because plants produce food for later use. Cutting hay early means that the nutrients are still in the leaves. They're not in the roots or the crowns or the seeds. Iowa State University research indicates that an acre of alfalfa hay loses 1,391 pounds of digestible nutrients and 400 pounds of digestible protein as it goes from early to full bloom. And this early cut hay is more palatable. The cow's hay consumption will drop a half a pound a day for every day that the cutting was delayed.
That's very interesting.
Well, it certainly helps milk production, too. You know, the early hay, because it is rich in nutrients, causes the cow to produce more milk. Now, a cutting delay of only 2 weeks can cause a 25% drop in milk production.
And a 25% increase in hot air. I got a windrower parked out front that'll do everything yours will do.
How's the hay conditioner constructed?
Well,
You see, that's a Heston specialty. All models have a solid rubber roll and a fluted steel roll. The length, the diameter, and configuration of these rolls vary from one model to another. This allows conditioning action to match the machine capacity and the method by which the cut crop is fed to the conditioner. Now, you adjust the roll pressure to suit the yield and type of hay that you're harvesting. And all auger and direct feed models are constructed to feed the crop directly into the conditioner. This prevents rocks and clods and trash from getting into the windrow. Hay cures perfectly because the Heston conditioner gently cracks the stems without mangling the leaves. Moisture gets out, but the oxidation of nutrients is kept to a minimum. You know, tests by the dairy department of Utah State University show that windrowing with a Heston windrower can add up to 23.4% dry weight to your hay crop. What's better, most of this weight is in the leaves, which contain 3/4 of the nutrient in the average plant.
What about the fellow with grain crops?
Well, there's a Draper header model that switches from hay to grain simply by removing the conditioner. And there are direct feed models that give a choice of windrowing or leaving the hay in a swath to solve humidity problems. Now, the big auger header models are for crops such as sorghum Sudan, native hay, and alfalfa.
Who cares about milk? I'm a beef producer.
Fine. Steers fed Hestonized hay in an experiment at the University of Tennessee gained 1.85 pounds per day. And steers fed poor quality conventional hay actually lost weight during the 71-day test.
My machine's small and easy to maneuver.
No need to worry about maneuvering, not with Heston's trim steering. It's just like reining a horse. Just let me show you one of the extras on the Heston windrower.
Watch it, mister.
Well, I was just going to show you this forged double tie guard. Now, it allows plenty of freedom for the sickle, but practically never breaks. And it saves a lot of time during harvest when time is so important. Now, what I've been telling you is just part of the story, but you can get all the details from this little pamphlet.
Mister, we got a nice, peaceful town here. We've been harvesting hay for 'em for quite a spell now. All of a sudden, you come through town complaining about how we do it. You see anything wrong with the way we're producing hay?
Nah.
How about you?
I think it's just great.
Nellie and John been pulling that mower for nigh on 13 years. I'm not about to switch to no newfangled contraption.
Mister, this town ain't interested.
You don't suppose I could interest you in a little friendly competition in that field just south of town?
Is that a challenge?
Sure is, partner.
Darn.
Now, you boys wouldn't chicken out, would you?
I ain't letting nobody browbeat me. It's a challenge.
All right. I'll meet you and your haying equipment at high noon. Morning, miss.
Round of milk, bartender.
Ain't sure this is gonna be one of my good days.
Now, don't let him scare you, old man. We're through in this town if he makes us look bad. Let's go.
I'm sorry that the internet's being so weird. Like, I'm seeing this significant drop in the internet, and I'm not sure why that is. It's being very, very spotty, and I don't know if I can actually tweak it now. Let's see if I can bump it down. I don't think it'll let me do it. It's the connectivity, and I don't know if it's trying to connect. Yeah, but it's dropping frames like crazy, and I apologize for that. And then what's crazy is this is why I don't stream when I'm traveling, because I can't guarantee that it's going to be good. And for some reason today, it's not good, and the router is like right there. So very much apologize for that. It's very frustrating, I know, for you. We're going to move ahead with this next film. This is another Calvin film. And this one is for laughs. The last one was kind of for laughs, but there was this weird, kind of boring information that was being relayed in the middle of it. This one is just for laughs. It's called Just for Openers. Enjoy.
Gentlemen, we're delighted to have you with us. We're glad so many of you could attend this little meeting, and I can only say we want to do everything we can to make it worth your while and to let you know you're welcome. I'm sure you know in general what this session is all about. We're going to talk business, yours and ours. And we plan to stay on the track, stick to our subject. Your time is valuable, and we don't want to waste it on anything that doesn't apply directly to our jobs. So to that extent, maybe this meeting will be a little bit different.
New, daring, different, unforgettable in the variety of things you won't see, such as gorgeous girls, pulse-throbbing action, exotic scenery, side-splitting comedy, gripping suspense. None of that. Nothing irrelevant. Just interesting stuff. All business.
We're all in business together, because whatever our individual jobs may be, they all involve Caterpillar and tow motor equipment. So all of us, we as suppliers and you as users, have a common objective: to see that our equipment delivers all the performance it was built to deliver all the time. And it takes all of us together to reach that objective. If we do reach our objective, we all stand to gain. If you're an owner, getting full value from your equipment means lower costs and more profit. If you're a job superintendent or a shop foreman, your return is greater production and the assurance of machine availability when it comes to a showdown. If you're a mechanic, your stake in this is ease of maintenance, minimum downtime, fewer repair headaches. As an operator, your interest is greater ease of operation, more comfort, and the kind of response you want at the controls. So whatever job or jobs you do, you have a personal stake in getting full value from every Caterpillar machine, because that automatically makes your job easier, more secure, more profitable, and safer. Another thing it seems to me all of us here have in common: we're all professionals. Operator, owner, mechanic, superintendent, foreman. It doesn't matter which. The very fact you're here shows you have a professional attitude toward your work. You take pride in your job and how it's done. And we take the same professional pride in our job, or we wouldn't be putting on this meeting. So we all do share the same interest and attitudes in our work. We talk the same language. And as professionals, we all know this can be a rough business. Our equipment has to work under all conditions. It has to be able to meet whatever demands this fast-moving, speeded-up age of ours puts on it. But in spite of this, how can we make sure we get the utmost out of our Cat equipment, day in, day out, year after year? That's what we're here to talk about. How to hit that target. Now, of course, on-the-job reliability has to start with design, engineering, and manufacture. The basic quality that's built into a machine. And that's what we have to offer. A better machine to begin with, built that way by Caterpillar. But that's not all. Something else, just as important, goes with that Cat machine or engine. It's what we call product support. The services, facilities, parts, technical assistance, know-how, all the backup it takes to keep that machine on the job at peak efficiency. We have to furnish all that, and we do. And why? Because no machine, no matter how well made, can perform right for very long without the support of adequate maintenance. Good maintenance is essential to reliability. It pays off in lower operating cost, higher productivity,
and greater resale value at trade-in time. It prevents a good many of the troubles that go with our business. So our responsibility, as we see it, is to pass along to you the best maintenance practices as recommended by Caterpillar, and to keep you informed of improvements and advances as they're made. In other words, whatever help you need to make your maintenance programs, methods, and procedures more effective. Just between us, when an owner does get full production, full value from his Cat equipment, he's pretty likely to make the money and get the jobs that will put him in the market for more new equipment. And when he buys, chances are he'll buy Caterpillar again, no matter how hard our competitors work on him. And let's admit, our competitors have some pretty good salesmen.
I consider myself a Cracker Jack salesman, but I can't sell international harvester equipment for beans.
But of course, there's more to this whole area of maintenance than regular day-to-day programs. In this business, you never know what problems are going to arise.
I've always said those operators are no dummies, but now I don't know.
The only thing sure is that any machine used hard enough to make a profit has to have replacement parts and occasional repairs. But it's our job to minimize the cost in time and money of parts replacements and repairs. So we want to keep you up to date on all the facts about Caterpillar-made parts and how new developments can boost production or lower cost per hour. And on the subject of necessary repairs, we want you to know the alternatives open to you, whether to do it yourself or use our facilities. You should know about the capabilities of our shop, and you should know about some other special services we offer. Custom track service, parts exchange service, engine rebuilding, and so on, as well as the new methods and diagnostic equipment we use to inspect your machines. And speaking of inspection, some of you may be interested in the idea of service contracts as a way of stabilizing costs and controlling machine availability. All these things are part of the whole broad subject of equipment maintenance. And I don't have to tell you there's a lot involved in it, in this matter of making sure our equipment stays on the job and performs as it was designed and built to do. A lot involved. But there's a lot at stake, too, for all of us. Not the least of which is our jobs, which is what this meeting is all about. So again, gentlemen, we want to welcome you. And as a special service for anyone who may have dozed off. And now let's throw some light on our subject. Well, gentlemen, they tell me it's time to wrap up this session, and that's what I'm back here to do. We certainly hope you found it worth your while and that you'll decide to come back again. As you know, meetings like this are just part of a continuing informational program designed to be of service to you and your job. It's a program that's needed today more than ever before if we want to keep up with the new developments, new methods, new ideas that are coming at us all the time. And as I said at the beginning, this is a fast-moving industry we're in. So fast-moving, it's impossible to predict what developments are ahead in equipment, parts, accessories, bigger machines maybe, with new capabilities, more economy, longer life. Who knows? But we promise you this, whatever is ahead, we'll do our level best to keep you informed. Because again, we're all in this business together. Our success depends on yours. So that's all. Thanks for coming. And aren't you glad we stuck to business instead of boring you with a lot of unnecessary, oh, look at that. Foolishness. Things that nobody cares about. Oh,
So, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm looking at the OBS has the ability to show me the bandwidth, and it's just dropping occasionally for no reason. So, at least you got to see that horribly sexist thing at the end. Holy cow. Yikes. I mean, it was fine. It was goofy, but rough. Anyways, thanks for joining me today. It's not an AV Geek show without some sort of inexplicable technical problem, and I will work hard to fix it. I'm going to have to restart a bunch of stuff. But, yeah. Thanks, multiple people, Jeremy, Nathan, for donating via the super thanks button. And we'll just try to figure this out. Blah, blah, blah. We will see you tomorrow. I don't even know what day it is. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. And yesterday was a day of travel, and so my brain is all mush. Anyways, we'll try to fix all these problems, and we'll get back to you.